Thank you.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Cecilia Amato. I'm a Pinterest marketing manager. So I'm just going to share my screen here. Okay, I'm going to set a timer for myself so I don't go over. Okay, so here today I'm going to show you how to leverage Pinterest for your business. Okay, so is there anyone that doesn't know what Pinterest is? Is okay. I'm gonna assume you guys know. So Pinterest is probably something you remember using. Probably he's probably started using it like 15 years ago to like save your recipes and get decor inspiration. But it can be so much more than that. It's a really powerful visual search engine with over 450 million users. So why even incorporate Pinterest into your business? For one, it's a really undervalued tool that not many people realize they can use. It's worth looking into because people that spend time on Pinterest tend to have higher household income, so greater than 100K. And the great thing about Pinterest is a lot of people come there undecided about what they're looking for. 97% of all searches are unbranded. So what this means is people are looking to try before they buy. They're looking to look at new brands that they've never seen before. They're kind of in research mode. So there's an equal footing between small business and large business. I wanted to give this example of a client of mine. So pins are really powerful because they stick around forever and they can still be generating a lot of engagement and interest that just keeps increasing over time without any additional promotion on your part, without needing to respond to comments or anything like that. So this pin he posted in like 2020, but as of this year, in total, it's had over like 5,000 views, almost 300,000 clicks, about 10,000 saves, and nearly 900 outbound clicks, which means you click on the pin and it takes you to the landing page. And that's just from one pin published 3 years ago. Um, so benefits of marketing. So the people that come to Pinterest are already coming there with the intent to take an action. They are not there to simply just like doom scroll. Like they're there because they have a plan. They're planning to visualize their next step. Uh, and similar to YouTube, the content, the older it gets, it actually floats to the top of search results as it gains more views and traction with time. So something similar to like a snowball effect. Unlike social media, where sometimes whatever you post just sinks to the bottom and time works against it, whereas Pinterest, the inverse is true. Again, this is a previous client of mine. He published about 30 pins to Pinterest in 2020, and this is from this year. So he's literally been off the platform for 3 years, hasn't added anything, but this is the slow and steady growth of engagement with his content over time. Again, him doing nothing. This is just passive happening in the background. And again, he hasn't been on the platform in years, but he has now like 30,000 followers and over a million monthly views, which is pretty crazy. Um, so for my clients, it's really helped with, it's a much higher ROI. You're investing far less time, far less money, far less content to actually gain a lot more return over time. The chances of conversion are higher just because when you see a pin, you can click on it and it'll take you immediately to the landing page. Unlike Instagram, you can't really attach a hyperlink in the caption. You always have to say in the caption, like, the link is in my bio, go to my profile and click the link. But the conversion rate is really low. Like, you can get many, many likes, but a very low conversion rate of people actually clicking the link in your bio. Whereas Pinterest doesn't have that problem. People can go to the landing page immediately. Pinterest requires far less content to go. You can go much further with it. And you don't need to be online. So if you're a busy entrepreneur, you don't need to worry about being present, engaging with people. Pinterest is more of like an art gallery. Like, the work kind of speaks for itself. So to get started with Pinterest, there's just a few things to start with. So creating a business account on Pinterest, and then kind of deciding, what are you there to do? Are you there to increase your mailing list, increase your subscribers, increase your product sales, or just simply increase brand awareness? Your business, I would say, is perfectly set up to work with Pinterest if you are already investing in content creation. So if you're already investing in a blog or a YouTube channel or a podcast, then you have to be on Pinterest, because that is where most content is discovered. Whereas like on Google, it's oversaturated. So if you want to design your own Pinterest, you can create your own designs. Kind of the key components are having text over it. What is the product? Why is it special? What makes you different? Having a logo, having a website, having a clear call to action, putting it in the right ratio, a 2-to-3 ratio. The biggest problem amateurs do is they repurpose their Instagram content without reformatting, and the Pinterest AI like will put your content at the bottom. So reformatting the size is very important, and keeping videos short, like under a minute and 30 seconds. Because Pinterest is a search engine, there's a lot of SEO practices that go into it, similarly like with blogging. And the simplest keyword strategy is to simply just type in one of your keywords into the search engine and use all the hottest or most popular long tail keywords. So like baby room ideas, baby room design, baby room decor, and every word you find after the word baby room should be a different board, like a different Pinterest board. And then all the Pinterest pins in that board should have that word also on the pin and in the caption. So keyword is very, very important. Pinterest has other tools like Pinterest Trends, which is an extension of the website where you can see which keywords are doing best. It's not so different from like Google Trends. Okay, and so with pinning, Pinterest is a little bit like planting a tree. You're going to be committing to it long term. So you won't expect a return immediately. You should expect to wait at least 6 to 9 months before the snowball effect occurs. A pinning schedule, at least 1 pin per day. I would use a program such as like Tailwind, or you can pre-schedule pins on Pinterest. So I would spend just 1 day pre-scheduling everything, so then you don't have to worry about it anymore. Just try not to pin more than 20 pins a day. That used to be the strategy, but it isn't anymore. So in conclusion, Pinterest is a really powerful marketing tool that can really set you apart from your competition. It's undersaturated. Increasing your Pinterest presence actually boosts your Google SEO too, because all your pins can be found on Google. And it puts you on equal footing with a lot of bigger companies. It kind of combines the strengths of Google and Instagram. You have the captivating imagery of Instagram, but you have the more motivated buyers that you kind of see on Google that are looking to take action. Okay, so So that is about 10 minutes. But thank you for watching. That's my website. If you go to my website, you can grab a free niche report. I think the number one question I get is like, is my niche or are other business owners in my industry already on Pinterest, and would I do well on Pinterest? So I would do this niche report for you. It's about I record a 5-minute video to see how your industry is performing. So that's it. Does anyone have any questions? And if there's no questions, I can go
There's
ahead.
there's
Oh,
a question in the chat. I don't know if you saw that.
oh,
So
sorry. Okay. Do I like Tailwind better than Pinterest to schedule pins? Short answer, yes, just because Tailwind is better suited for bulk, like pre-scheduling in bulk. Especially if you plan on pinning multiple pins per day. The Pinterest platform is catching up and trying to make it more scheduling friendly, but I've found it a little glitchy. So Tailwind is much better. Tailwind also measures other data that Pinterest Analytics doesn't carry. So for example, like Pinterest Analytics doesn't manage they don't track like how many followers you gained in a month, which is kind of crazy to me, like they do on Instagram. But they do have that metric on Tailwind. So Tailwind gathers, it's a much better data gathering tool, and it's much better for scheduling in bulk. And then Tailwind also does the work of figuring out the best times to post. Whereas if you just post on Pinterest, it won't tell you any recommended times. Like that's just something you have to research on your own. So Tailwind kind of does that for you, and Tailwind is free. Um, but they do have some extra features if you decide to do their paid program. Um, any other questions?
Thank you. That was great. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a quick question for you,
Yeah.
Cecilia. So say that you're just starting out in your business, you don't really have like a funnel. Would Pinterest be kind of like the best and maybe easiest route to go, since you're saying that the reach is so vast and it's not something that you kind of have to continuously keep up with over time?
So Pinterest is really the search engine that goes with content marketing.
Mhm.
So once you've established like a blog, or if you've established some other form of content, a lot of people don't have blogs. So what I recommend is like if you have social media, like if you have Instagram posts, you can repurpose them into blog posts and then put that on your website. Because Pinterest ultimately works best with pulling people to your website. So the more links that you can generate to your website, the better. So I would start there. It has to be video or downloadables or something like that. Some kind of like free content that you're offering when you're trying to grow your audience. So Pinterest is a little difficult if you're just starting out. Once you have like at least like 15 different links that go to your webpage, like 15 different blog posts, maybe 15 different podcast episodes, then you have content, and then you have something you can like create a pin for. Because ultimately Pinterest, I feel like is only worth it if it brings you back to your website. There is a way to create pins that don't go anywhere. So some people just do that just to simply grow brand visibility. But in the long run, it's better to have content to offer. So I think Pinterest isn't the first priority if you're just starting out. It's something that comes a bit later, um, when you have stuff that you want people to find, like lead magnets and such.
Okay.
Um, any other questions?
I have a question. Um, I remember in the past, Pinterest was all about fresh pins, and I just want to know, how different do the pins have to be from pin to pin now?
So typically when they say fresh pin, what they mean by that is they want fresh content, not necessarily like a bunch of different designs for the same piece of content. So like in the 2000s, what Pinterest was seeing happen is that like people would have like 5 blog posts, but then they would create 10 different pin designs for one blog post and put that all over Pinterest. And people were posting like 20 or more pins per day. So Pinterest is kind of flipped. They really